introducing OC from DITC. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you, brother.
HRap, what's going on, my brother? Thanks for reaching out to me, sir.
Oh, man, it's all good, man. You're one of the all-time greats. It's a pleasure to have you on. And, I mean, I've enjoyed you for years and years and years. So you doing me a favor by being on here, man.
How about we doing each other a favor then?
That's what's up. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the love.
It's equal, man. It's equal.
Okay, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Now, for those, some people are not super hip hop heads like myself. I breathe and I live it. We come from the same time period. Do me a favor, introduce yourself to the people, then we'll move forward.
Introduce myself?
Yes, let them know who you are. Wait, we get right into your life.
I mean, my name is OC. I started out in 92 with a group called Organized Confusion. I don't know if people know them or not. Super hip hop heads would know. That's Pharaoh Monch and Prince Poe. And that's where my history starts at with them, and that's where my history starts at with DITC as well.
All right, thank you. For those who don't know, this is one of the dopest MCs, and if you don't know him specifically, you will definitely know him by the beginning of one of his most popular songs. This dude, it ain't many people in hip hop that don't know the beginning of his song Time So. Yeah, I'm just telling you that right now, straight up and down. If you know anything in hip hop, you like the minerals and vitamins, irons and the nines. Everybody knows that. This is a guy from Queens, New York, where some of the greatest people in the history of hip hop has come from. How did you start rhyming? Before we go there, tell me about Queens in the early 70s, like me and you, we're a year apart. Tell me about Queens at that time.
Well, I'm actually, I'm a Brooklyn boy, actually. I was born in Bush. I lived in Queens as well. I claim Queens as well. So, but I was born in Brooklyn, raised in Bushwick, and raised in Jamaica, South Jamaica, Queens. Okay. And, basically growing up in Bushwick as not even a preteen, as a kid, is where I started getting my taste for hip hop. The first record that I ever heard at a block party was a record called King Tim III. You know what I'm saying?
Familiar.
And I was a kid. I was probably maybe 4 or 5 years old. And then after that, around that same time, I think Super Rapping came out. It was like a 15, 20-minute rap record. You know what I'm saying? And that's where my history begins, with me wanting to be on the mic. You know what I'm saying? At least at that early age, I seen guys, what they call MC in the party. Actually, the DJ became the backdrop when we all know the DJ was the forefront, and the rapper was a backdrop. You know what I'm saying? An MC was a backdrop. A person who was on the mic was just basically a host to DJs.
Okay.
To talk for the DJ. The DJ talked with his hands, and he had a host or MC that MC'd the party. So, I got my glimpse of that. And then in probably before, turning 18, I moved out to Jamaica, Queens, and I seen more park jams, and I seen, famous street guys, street musician cats that brought their sets out to the parks. And, these guys was called Disco Twins and Infinity Machine, and, just different crews from different areas of the boroughs. You know what I'm saying? And who knew this was gonna go this far? Put it like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know I would rap, but I knew I would have some part in the music.
How did you get the bug to rhyme? What led you down that path?
Well, I actually DJ. Like I said, it was more or less cool for you to be the DJ, because you was the orchestrator, the orator. you commanded the crowd, and I DJ'd for a little while. My pops bought me, some DJ equipment and stuff like that. But my heart, it was in it, but just for maybe a moment. And then the next thing you know, man, I would just, watch guys who was already doing the rap thing and study dudes around my way. You know what I'm saying? That included junior high school all the way up to high school, in both boroughs, Brooklyn and Queens, because I had family in both boroughs. So going back and forth between Brooklyn and Queens, it just showed me a different thing.
Okay. Now, when you moving forward, you seeing these guys in the park jams, you DJing. Who are some of the MCs that make you go, maybe I want to try that?
People don't really know this, but Slick Rick is like my all-time idol. Like I idolize that dude. You know what I'm saying? Him and mainly Rakim is the guys that really made me want to sit down and learn how did they do that? How did they craft that? How did they multi-layer that? Like, before I even knew what that meant. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But the main guy was Slick Rick, man. Like, I don't sound like him or nothing like that, but, I patented a lot of things behind his blueprint.
That's dope.
I didn't bite him, but I patented. He taught me. He gave me a blueprint to create my own blueprint.
Now, you know what? And now that you're saying that, you are a great storyteller, because like everybody was caught up on Time's Up. But my favorite song on the album,
right,
Police Be Watching Me. That was a hell of a concept. Right. And that lets me know, that opens my eyes to the Slick Rick aspect, because you just flat out told the story. And you know what? As dope as you are, people don't really comment on your storytelling part of your MC, and they always just comment on your lyrics and how dope you are. And like you said, you triple up, you double layer things, you have double entendres, and people always go with that, and they don't really focus on your storytelling situation. And
exactly. But I've always told stories on my albums.
Exactly.
I don't think people give me enough credit for that.
I don't think they give you credit at all for it, because they focus on, you lay it out so smooth, and that leads me to my next one. You lay it out so smooth that people are not saying, man, he killing this story. They just focus on how dope you are. And you're right. You don't get enough credit for that. And the Slick Rick thing is definitely shining when it comes to mind. Something else, you, unlike most MCs that are as dope as you, they usually ride the track. Something I noticed about you, your music is traditionally more melodic. Is that on purpose, or is that just the way it lays out?
I think it's just the way it is. Me and you around the same age, so you understand growing up, listening to a lot of soulful melodic tunes, OJs, right. The stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The BT Express, like, just our parents listen to so much stuff. So many varieties of music. You know what I'm saying? Gospel, the melody thing, and we black, man. The melody thing is in our DNA.
Yes.
I never thought about it though.
Yeah, man. Cause I listening to your, like I said, man, it was, I'm a year older than you. So in Chicago, house music was king. So they used to. You know how they treat the mumble rappers now? That's how they would treat the hip-hop
exactly
in Chicago. So, because I wasn't really into the house thing, there was at one point in my life that I wasn't listening to anything but hip-hop.
Right.
If you had a dope album cover, I was copying the joint, and I was spinning too. So it was like I had to get
absolutely,
the music, and I had to get it. So that's why I was always into you. And the organized confusion thing, a lot of people,
right?
They don't talk about that, And how did that come about? Because I'm listening again, and you and Prince Paul and Pharaoh, that's the perfect match. How did that come about?
Pharaoh is my neighbor. That's how it came about. Like, when I moved to Queens, Pharaoh lived across the street from me. You know what I'm saying? And him and Poe went to high school together. So that's how I was introduced to Prince. But you know, diving into their history, you know, connected to mine real quick, is these guys, you know, was a group called Simply Too Positive prior to Organized Confusion. And, you know, they was signed to as writers to Atlantic. They was writing for Houdini way back when. You know, I was there. You know what I'm saying? So I seen the inception of what they did, and they taught me not to sound like them, because I used to kind of try to sound like them when I was coming up. You know what I'm saying? As a student under them. And, you know, I did my own demos and stuff, but when they would hear the stuff, they would be like, nah. You know, Monch is more reserved, but Prince talked with his eyes as well as his mouth. Mm-hmm. And he would just be like, yo, man, like, you're not supposed to sound like us, oh. Like, we not a group.
That's dope.
And I used to get super tight, but I'm glad they taught me that early on, because when I did, you know, when I debuted on their album, you know, my debut, I sound like me. I didn't sound like Monch and Prince, you know what I'm saying? And they taught me a lot, man.
That's dope, man. For those who tuning in, I'm listening to you are listening to Super MC OC from DITC, one of the dopest MCs I've ever heard. And if you go to Spotify, go to what is it? Tidal, go iTunes, check him out.
Tidal.
You'll definitely enjoy his music. He's talking about, we were just talking about being in tune with Organized Confusion, and the song that took the world by storm was Fudge Pie. You want to talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, that song made people think we were a group, but that wasn't even their first single off their debut album. They had a song called Who Stole My Last Piece of Chicken? And that was the single, but it done it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And for Hollywood, they was on a label called Hollywood Basic, which was owned by Disney. Mm-hmm. And they had to follow it up with something quick so the album wouldn't fizzle out before it even came out. So, you know, they was like, yo, we should have went with this song first, but we didn't, and we're gonna shoot a video for this. And I'm like, shoot a song video for what? And they like, the Fudge Pudge. And it changed my life, man.
Man,
1991.
Yes, yes, that's when hip hop is insane. You had to look for it. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Let me ask you this. This is off topic a bit. Well, actually, it's not, because we're talking about hip hop. I hear a lot of people our age always say they don't play hip hop like they used to. I mean, maybe it's me. I don't remember a whole lot of dope hip hop being on the radio. I heard, you know, we used to laugh and call it pop. But what can we do? Because see, my mission in regard to all of my, this show is about building up the community, destroying all the lies and the fallacies that come along with being us. We black and everybody against us. I mean, it's not a hate situation. It's just a love in us. How can we, as older hip hoppers, or as a hip hop community, help put us back into the mind state of searching for music instead of waiting for it to walk up to the door and get us? Because we never waited on the music to walk up and get us. Dudes like you and others, what can we do?
I really don't have an answer to that, but what I can say is, you know this as well as I know it. We're going through a transition, man, and we seen the transition before us. Before us, it was Kaz and them. Mm-hmm. And from Kaz and them, it went to HRap and Kane and Rakim and them. Mm-hmm. And from Rakim and them, it went to me, Nas, J. Rules, the Wu-Tangs, you know, and now we in another phase. We, like, when people say drill music, I don't like putting I don't like putting labels on stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. Like,